It was a quiet Sunday morning when I realized my daughter had changed. She stood in my new living room, sunlight spilling over the polished floors I once dreamed of. Her eyes scanned the place, not with pride, but with judgment. When she smiled, it didn't reach her eyes. That was the moment I knew. Somewhere between my success and her ambition, I had lost her. And maybe I had helped create the very distance that now broke my heart. My name is Margaret Hayes, and I spent 30 years of my life building a small bakery in Portland, Oregon. When my husband passed away, it was just me and my daughter, Lily. She was 16 then, quiet, brilliant, and full of dreams. I used to tell her, "Sweetheart, we may not have much, but we'll always have each other." The bakery became our second home. We spent nights covered in flour, laughing over ruined pastries and burnt pies. Customers loved us because our food tasted like family. But things changed when our little shop went viral on social media. Within a year, Hayes Bakery became a name people in the city knew. Orders poured in, interviews followed, and investors started calling. Suddenly, we weren't struggling anymore. We were successful. And with that success came something I didn't expect. Distance. Lily stopped baking with me. She started talking about brand partnerships and modernizing the image. I thought it was just youthful ambition, but deep down, I feared it was pride. One afternoon, Lily came home with a bright smile and a folder full of papers. "Mom, you should sign these," she said. "It's just for the new business expansion." I trusted her. She'd studied business in college, after all. So I signed without reading too closely. A few weeks later, during a meeting with our accountant, I learned the truth. The company was now legally registered under her name alone. I remember my hands shaking, the world going quiet around me. "Maybe it's a mistake," I said. But when I asked her, she replied calmly, "No, Mom. It's time people see it as mine. You've done your part." Her words cut deeper than any knife. I realized I had just signed away not only my business, but a piece of my motherhood. After that day, things between us were never the same. Lily moved into a modern apartment downtown, closer to the bakery's new headquarters. She started giving interviews, talking about her vision, her brand. Sometimes she mentioned me, but only as my mom who started it all. A background figure, a memory. I still went to the old shop, the one where everything began. I baked small batches for loyal customers who preferred the old taste, the one made with love, not efficiency. People would ask, "Why don't you work with your daughter anymore?" I always smiled and said, "She's busy. She's doing great things," but every word felt like sand in my mouth. Bills started piling up. I had no salary, no ownership rights, just my pension and a few savings. At night, I'd sit by the kitchen window, staring at the neon lights from the new Hayes Bakery sign across town. It shone bright, but cold. Then came her engagement party. She invited me, of course, politely. The event was grand, filled with people in tailored suits and glittering dresses. When I arrived, one of her new friends looked at me and said, "Oh, you must be the original baker. So sweet of you to come original baker, like a retired employee." When Lily gave her speech, she thanked her team, her fiancé, her investors. But not once did she mention me. I clapped anyway, smiling through the ache. Because that's what mothers do. They love, even when they're forgotten. A week later, one of my old employees, Ben, came to see me. Mrs. Hayes, he said quietly, I thought you should know. They're planning to sell the original shop. The new investors want to demolish it and build a cafe chain instead. I felt my chest tighten. That bakery wasn't just a building. It was where Lily took her first steps, where we healed after her father's death, where I found meaning. I called her immediately. She answered, distracted. Mom, it's just business. Don't get emotional, I wanted to scream. But instead, I whispered, you can rebuild a business, Lily, but not a heart. She hung up. That was when I realized. She wasn't just different now, she was gone. Instead of fighting her, I chose something quieter. I went to the old bakery one last time. I cleaned the counters, the ovens, and the little chalkboard menu where Lily had once written, cupcakes $2. I took a small wooden spoon from the drawer, her favorite, and left the key on the counter. Then I started again, not for revenge, not to compete, but to heal. I rented a small corner shop in a quieter neighborhood. I called it Margaret's Table. I baked simple things, pies, cookies, bread, using the same recipes that once filled our home with love. People came, not because of social media, but because they felt something real. I'd sit and talk with customers, listen to their stories, and sometimes share my own, an emotional story about love, loss, and rebuilding peace. Within months, I wasn't rich, but I was content. And that, I realized, was the kind of success I had been searching for all along. One evening, as I was closing the shop, the bell above the door rang. It was Lily. She stood there quietly, holding a small box of cupcakes. Her eyes were red, the kind that come after nights of regret. Mom, she said softly, the new investors took over everything. I lost it all. I didn't say anything. I just motioned for her to sit. For a few moments, we sat in silence, two women who had once been one heart. Finally, she whispered, I forgot what this felt like, being home. Her words melted something inside me. I reached across the table and took her hand. I never stopped waiting, I said. Just don't let success make you forget who you are again. She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. And for the first time in years, she smiled like my daughter again. Now Lily helps me at the new shop. We bake together on weekends, laugh with customers, and argue playfully over recipes. Like before. We don't talk about the company, the money, or what was lost. Some things are better left behind. What matters is that we found each other again, not through contracts or business deals, but through kindness and humility. Because family isn't about who owns what. It's about who stands beside you when everything else disappears. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe.